So, well, I totally just lost my train of thought.
Hi guys, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. I feel like I should sound like a game show host or something. But basically, I get a lot of questions to my inbox, and a lot of them are the same thing. So I wanted to address them in a video. And then I also put it out to you guys to ask me anything across social media. And if you didn't get a chance to ask your question, or if I didn't touch on it, don't worry. We can do another one of these if you guys want to see it. And I don't want you to think I'm rude, but I have my phone here because I'm going to read your questions off of my phone. And it's also connected to my mic, which is why this is happening. And then, yeah, Rhett's here, of course, because I can't not have him at my side. So I figured we could just jump right into the email questions. So let me just pull them up. So I picked like the ones that I get asked the most frequently, and I anticipate that I will continue to be asked these questions, but figured I'd address them. So the first question that I get, and I probably get this equally in email as I do in in-person form, who eats all that food? So I always have the same response. Like, I post a recipe like 2 or 3 days a week, and we eat 3 meals a day plus snacks 7 days a week. So it's actually not that much food. And surprisingly, my fridge or cupboards are not that full. Sometimes they are, but a lot of the time I'm like, oh, I need to go grocery shopping. So yeah, it really isn't that much food. But I eat it and Kurt eats it. And yeah. Okay, so the second question is, what do I eat in a day? You guys have been asking for this, like a what I ate Wednesday. And I think I'll probably just address this in another video because I'm thinking of just filming my daily eats. So if you're interested in that, just comment below or thumbs up. That way I know and I can film a video of what I eat in a day. The third question is kind of similar. Do I eat healthy all the time? And I guess the answer is yes. I eat healthy most of the time. I really like healthy food. I enjoy eating it. It like makes me feel great and I like the taste of it. So yes, I eat healthy food most of the time. But nothing's off limits. Like, I don't crave junk food. I don't really crave a candy bar. So you're not gonna like find me hanging out outside McDonald's eating a Snickers bar. But if you do, like, get that shit on social media immediately. But that being said, I will like go out and have tacos with friends. I love a good glass of wine. So yeah, there isn't really anything that I would consider like off limits, but also like, I don't know. I eat pretty healthy most of the time. I really do like vegetables. Okay, the fourth question is, what do you recommend as your favorite gluten-free flour? I have a gluten-free flour blend in my healthy breakfast e-cookbook because I ended up making a lot of the recipes with the blend I created, and it's pretty foolproof. I really like it, but if you don't want to go out and have to buy all these individual flours and then blend it yourself, I really like the Namaste blend, gluten-free flour blend. I know they have it in the States, and I get like this gigantic package of it, and I can go through it pretty quickly, but it's really good. And anytime a recipe calls for gluten-free flour, I'm either using Namaste or my blend. The next question is, I want to start a blog. Where do I start? And I love getting these questions from you guys, but I'm always going to direct you to the same place, which is the Blogger Project. So Lee and I started this website which helps teach bloggers how to grow their blogs and potentially take the leap and run them as a business. Yeah, so if you want more information on how to start a blog, go there. I'll include a link in the description description box below, and all of the information is there, and you guys are really gonna like it. The next question has made me laugh because I've gotten it like 7 times in the last week, and never before has it been asked of me. But basically, I had this lovely post to go up last week, and it was for butternut squash mac and cheese. And the recipe was vegan and gluten-free, and I talked a bit about how I wanted to incorporate less meat in my diet and more plant-based foods. And yeah, tons of you emailed me, texted me, told me in person, like, are you becoming vegan? And the answer is no, I'm not becoming vegan. I'm trying to reduce my meat consumption. I don't really eat dairy other than like cheese every now and then. So, you know, there are days when I end up eating vegan, but it's not really intentional. I'm just trying to eat more vegetables and a little less meat. And right now I'm not really craving meat. So if I do decide I want a piece of chicken, I'll eat a piece of chicken. So every day is different. And the last question I get a lot via email is, why don't I post the nutrition profiles of my recipes? And I just love getting this question. And I can appreciate the fact that a lot of you want that information, or like tracking your macros closely or your calories, but that's just not the way that I live. I just don't want to quantify my food. I just think that quality is more important, and I use real food, real ingredients. That's what's important to me. That's what I prioritize, and it's not that I'm against people, you know, wanting that information. I just feel like if it's my blog and my space, then I'm entitled to share the information that I think is relevant. And for me, that just like the calorie count just isn't relevant, and how many carbs or how much fat. Like at the end of the day, I think I eat pretty intuitively, and like my macros probably come out being pretty well balanced. But it would be interesting to look at how my macros actually come out. So maybe we'll do a little experiment with that. So that's what I've got from the email questions. And let's move on to what we can get from the social media questions. All right. Okay, now we are moving on to the social media questions. So I'm just going to pull up your questions and jump right into it. On Instagram, the question is, how do you make yourself at home, Rat. The question is, how do you make a healthy lifestyle permanent? I go back and forth all the time. It's a hard question. I think you have to find the right balance for you. I think if I view like healthy and unhealthy as these like two black and white things, it makes it really hard to stick to one. It's a lifestyle for me. Like I appreciate and focus on how, you know, eating healthy and being active makes me feel, rather than like the way I look, or like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I just think for me, it just feels good, and that's why I do it. And also maybe I've been doing this for so long that like my taste buds have changed, but like I honestly am like satisfied when I eat a like quinoa brownie, or like a gluten-free chocolate chip cookie, or fruit. Like I don't feel like unhealthy is like the antagonist of healthy. I think healthy food can taste great, and I try to find workouts that I really enjoy doing, and I just don't put myself under a whole lot of pressure to live a certain way, and I just find that it kind of works out nicely. And like I don't beat myself up if, you know, I have my moments of, oh, I drank a little too much, or oh, I ate, you know, too many tacos. It's just, you know, you get back on the horse the next day and you do what makes you feel good that day, and it all evens out in the end. That's sort of my attitude on this stuff. So I hope that helps. So the next question is, what does your overall exercise regimen look like? I know you've said you've toned it down in the last couple of years, but you look great, so I'm curious. Well, thank you. I feel great. So I used to be really, really intense about the gym, and I had all sorts of goals, and I wanted to look a certain way, and in the end I ended up getting injured, and it really was a very unpleasant, exhausting experience. So I really scaled back on exercise, and then I started to feel a lot like a sloth. So the last year has been about finding a good sense of balance with exercise. And I feel like I'm kind of hitting my stride. I definitely make it a priority to move every single day, and not doing crazy CrossFit workouts every single day. I don't enjoy it. It isn't fun for me. It doesn't feel good for me. But I do make it a priority to move every single day. And on the days where I'm maybe not feeling like really intense exercise, I'll go on a really long walk. That being said, I'm really loving barre. I've been loving it for like a year now, and it's just like, it's a low impact workout. So I find like my body doesn't really like hurt in the same way that lifting heavy weights or running like a gajillion miles made me feel. And yeah, I mean, there are days I wake up and I'm like, I want to sweat so hard today. And I do. And I can really crush it. And then there are days when I'm like, I just want to go on a walk. And I love moving. I know that exercise is good for me. I feel better when I do it. I just don't like have any kind of like goals or plans so that I stick to that. It's just sort of what happens that day. And yeah, I feel pretty great. So I hope I look it too. Okay, next question. All right, bye, buddy. If I could only eat one food for the rest of my life, what would it be? It can be a food or a dish. That's really hard. I don't know. I think if it was like one ingredient, it would probably be avocados, because I really love avocados. But this is like the most random meal, but I for some reason, I really love roasted cauliflower with tahini. I know that's like the strangest thing. Like if I was on a desert island, like that's what I would eat. But like I could eat unlimited bowls of cauliflower with tahini. There's a recipe on the blog for like a similar recipe, and I swear I eat it once a week. And like I eat it, like I make it as a side, and then I just eat the entire thing because it's just so good. So I hope that answers your question. Next question is my decision to take the leap and run the blog full time. I think that's what Georgie's getting at. How I knew it was time. I was talking to someone about this the other day, and like I honestly don't think I like had this like revelation like today is the day. I don't think I made a decision. The decision was entirely made for me because I was really unhappy in where I was in life. I really was not enjoying my job. And I just like wasn't feeling satisfied or productive. And at the time, I think I was like 23 or 24. I don't know. And I just knew that I needed a change, and it just kind of played out because the universe just like played out that way. I know that's like such an annoying response, but honestly, like I just was so desperate to get out of where I was that like the only thing that really made sense was running the blog. And like, was I running a legitimate business for the like beginning after I made the transition? No, I really wasn't making any money, but I had the time to build a business. And I hustled, and fortunately it worked out. I also had nothing to lose. Like I was 23 or 24, no family. Like, I mean, I have my family, but I don't have like children that I need to support. So it was just like the right time for me to take a risk like that. And fortunately it paid off. Yeah, so there wasn't this like, oh, today's the day, let's do this. I talk a bit more about it on the Blogger Project if you do some digging. Okay, next question over on Facebook is, what top healthy foods that you won't go near? I guess like any kind of like health food that's like labeled as like low calorie or low fat. They're generally made with like artificial sweeteners, which like I cannot stand the taste of. Like, don't put like a Splenda anywhere near me because it just like tastes like chemicals in my mouth. So yeah, anything that's like not made with like food from the earth. So like, you know what I'm talking about. They're kind of labeled as health food, but they're like at the end of the day, they're really not healthy food. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open-minded about stuff. I don't find that there's like anything that like I really don't like. I don't love peas. I think that's my like only like weird thing. Yeah, So those are the questions that I can fit into today's video. But if you want to see more of these, feel free to comment below or on the blog post or shoot me an email. I'd love to be able to answer any of your questions about literally whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about food, we can talk about fitness, we can talk about like natural makeup or beauty products, what I'm loving right now. Yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see, and I will hopefully be able to answer your questions. All right, thanks guys. Bye.